Hi, my name is Michael Spilg, and today I'll be giving you a quick tutorial of how to use AWS's Bedrock service. AWS stands for Amazon Web Services, and it's Amazon's cloud services. So if you're new to the cloud is basically a digitization of all the hardware components that go into an IT system. So everything that you would normally access on premises or on site is now available remotely or over the air through the internet, thanks to the servers and the data centers set up by Amazon. So, AWS is a platform to navigate through their cloud provider services, and they break it down into different services. So, they've recently come out with a lot of machine learning and AI enabled applications, including Bedrock. So, Bedrock is a service that allows you to use third party language models like ChatGPT or Gemini or others like Llama by Meta or Amazon's Nova, and you can incorporate those into your services or platforms directly. So I'm going to give you a high level walkthrough. As I said, this assumes that you've already have AWS account created. If you don't, you can set one up fairly quickly, but that's not my focus for this tutorial. There is a free access for up to 1 year, although I think for this tutorial you might incur some expenses. So just feel free to watch and decide later if you want to um, navigate or redo this lab on your own. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and show you Bedrock. So to access Bedrock, you're going to type it into the search, and then it's going to bring you to a page like this. And you're going to scroll down to the bottom, and I'm going to move my little icon here. You're going to go down all the way to the bottom where it says Bedrock configuration. You're going to access or click on model access, and it's going to take you to a page like this. Then you're going to have a list of all the different language models that you can use. You're going to want to access at least two of them. So you're going to modify model access, and this will allow you to select which ones you want to request access to. So I went ahead and did Nova Micro and Llama's 3.3. So it shows you what features they have available and who the provider is. So when you want to request access to that, you will just click it and scroll down all the way to the bottom, click next. I'm not going to access the DeepSeek model, but just as an example, you'll go to a page like this and then you'll want to submit. So I've already requested access to the language models that I want to use, being Nova and Meta's Llama, and it might take a couple minutes for your page to obtain access, but once it's loaded, you should be able to scroll back down to those language models and see access granted with a green check mark. So once you're there, you'll want to go back to the toolbar on the left, and you're going to want to go over to the playground where it says chat text. So you're going to click on chat text, and you're going to come across a page like this. I'm going to move my face again, and just to show you, there's now like a little prompt box at the bottom. So to access the prompt box, you're going to select chat, and then you're going to select the model that you want to use to answer your question or generate new text. So I'm going to choose the Amazon Nova Micro that I had selected. You can change the inference. So I think I will be able to show you that later. But another feature that I wanted to show was that you can compare the language models back to back, or not back to back, alongside each other. So you can go and select the Llama or the DeepSeek or whichever other language model you might have access to and apply that as well. So now when you are going to go back to this page, you're going to be able to go down to the prompt and enter a question and get a response both from Nova Micro and Llama. So I think because I selected Micro for the Nova, I'm not able to change the temperature, but I just wanted to highlight this. So if you wanted to change the inference capabilities, that would be under the temperature gauge. So if you have it all the way to a 1, that is essentially the language model reviewing all the context as it's producing the next word in the sequence of its response. If you have it all the way down to point 1 or 0, perhaps, it's only looking at 1 or 2 words that it had generated. So you might get a choppier response, but you're going to save money on compute. Whereas if you want something more fluid and comprehensive, then you want to set it at 1. If you're kind of okay with, just a general idea or an answer to your prompt, then maybe you'll want to go with something right in between. So I'm going to move my face again. I'm going to just give it a short prompt and say, explain some of the benefits of the cloud. So I'm just going to keep it simple like that. You can really give it any other prompt or question that you would do in any other chatbot. I'm going to just run it and see what Nova and Llama respond to a simple prompt like that. So as you can see, you're going to get 2 different answers. So it looks like they both kind of break it down into different pillars, but they are kind of different. So if I go back to the top here, I can quickly see that it looks like they both start with scalability. They go through cost efficiency. Llama says cost savings. It looks like they start to deviate here. Accessibility, increased flexibility. Even some of the wording is a little bit different. So cloud services are accessible from anywhere in the world as long as there is an internet connection. Very similarly, Llama says cloud services can be accessed from anywhere on any device at any time as long as there is an internet connection. So again, maybe that was due to the setting of the temperature gauge, why I get more clarification from the Llama's platform. And it also seemed to have spent milliseconds more than the Nova Micro spent on generating its response. But that's kind of what Bedrock does, or one of the capabilities that you have from the service in AWS that I thought was pretty neat. And there's a lot more to it. There's also SageMaker and other services that are provided in AWS that are AI or machine learning related. I recommend that you check them out and look out for other tutorials related to AWS or AI.